You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Birds to eat the ash borers, and then bring in some snakes
No.
to eat the birds.
So,
and then the gorillas.
interesting thing. Have an army of cats, your army of the night.
I was worried I killed the horse once because I jumped off a cliff.
I need you to bulk up, man.
All right.
Building equity, Matt. Building equity. Welcome, my children, to the episode 314 of the Born in the 80s podcast. I'm your host, the hostess with the mostest, John Danger Row, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm the co-host with the leastest, Matt Haig.
Co-mostest.
Co-mostest. So did everyone bring their pie for this very special pie-themed episode?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Neither
Matt. Oh man, and you have a math degree.
Yeah.
How's that working out?
That's the worst question to ask anybody ever.
How's
I got
degree
I got some
working
berry ale, so that's kind of pie-like.
Man, I was so I'm going to talk to you guys about my newest addiction. I'm watching television programs.
Heroin. Wait.
No, I just typed it in, so you didn't even get a chance. So I've been watching a lot of PBS. I'm watching a lot of This Old House. I'm addicted to this show.
The new version of This Old House, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's an incredible show, especially if you're a homeowner, because you're just like, they're doing all this shit, and you're like, oh, that's how that's done. But this season, they're way into this, the idea of Generation Next and getting, like, younger people interested in skilled trades, like plumbing and all sorts of things. Because apparently there's a huge shortage of people that do skilled trades. And, like, it's kind of one of those things that's like, more people should do that instead of going to college. College is such a waste, though. Like, it is and it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, it can be a key to open the doors to
really
many important
overvalued.
things.
Yeah,
yes,
but
that's maybe the best way to put it.
It maybe shouldn't be as expensive as it is.
Correct.
It shouldn't be like everybody should go do this thing.
Yes, exactly. I would think that if you're interested in something else, I would think about going to community college or look into a skilled trade or something, because, like, those people make so much money.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is that the problem with that job is that people make so much money, but you don't make a lot of money when you start, and it's a lot of heavy work with your hands labor when you start.
Yeah.
But, like,
when you
everyone's
start,
just
you
like
spend a lot of time sweeping
early on, exactly.
Yeah.
But they talk about, like, people that it's like, yeah, for the first 2 or 3 years you're doing that, and then you become like a supervisor of a crew, and then you become like all this stuff, and then those people are making fucking bank, and then you open your own business, and like, anyway. I talked to an arborist
about in terms
today.
of like future proofing, because every job is essentially improvising and adapting to a new situation.
Yeah.
So that's never, like, not never, but it's going to be a long time before any part of that gets automated.
Oh, I know, exactly, because it's just so much of it has to do with like, even if parts of it continue to get more and more automated, there's still people that have to do the designing, the planning, the execution, and anyway, I'm just saying, like, that it's been opening my eyes to, like, man, because here's the thing, is like, okay, yeah, you don't make a lot of money right out of high school, but, like, 4 years into it, what someone would be doing at college, you're going to be making a lot of money, or more money, and you don't have any debt, so it's just like, geez, man, like, if you watch those earlier seasons of Roseanne, Dan Connor's a drywall guy. But, like, in the later seasons, his, like, construction company kind of takes off, and they're like, he's making really decent money, and then he becomes, like, the county works, like, manager of all, like, the, like county projects that they're doing and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, those things, like, pay off. And the key is, though, is, like, you have no debt, though. Like it's like, because there's people that leave college with $100,000 worth of debt, and it's even though you're making more money, like the debt just takes that out of your paycheck. Like, so is it worth it? Like, and with a degree like my brother who's a pharmacist, it was a lot of debt, but also like the money is incredible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's worth it if you can do that. But I don't know. My biology degree was a lot of fun, but do I think that I need it to perform the job that I have today? No. Like, it helps being scientific and having that background, but
day
to day.
My music degree is really useful for inventory planning.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things that it's so rare to be able to use your degree.
My mathematics degree is useful for fuck all. Nothing at all.
Inventory. That math is a tough one because it seems like it would be a degree that would be super important and useful, but it really is not. There's not a lot of positions that use it, right? That aren't like accounting and stuff. You know what I mean?
Actuarial sciences.
Like the fun math.
Theoretical mathematician.
Yeah.
That's all academia.
Yeah, exactly. That's
research
the thing.
math.
I went through a phase in college where I was like, oh, I could probably be a professor. And then I got into like year 6 of my undergrad. And I was like, no, that's enough college for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would still love to, but the problem is you really have to, at minimum, have a master's for the most part.
Yeah, I know. Those are so gated off.
I can't really do that to myself and get myself into more debt at this point.
Come on, TJ, get some more debt. What's it going to hurt?
Yeah.
Everything.
Just get more debt
there.
If
you have a little bit of debt, then the bank owns you. But if you have millions of dollars of debt, then you own the bank.
That's right,
I heard
exactly.
that in a movie once.
I think that's true. Guys.
What?
I talked to an arborist this morning, about a tree I have in my backyard. This is like a quasi-science corner. Because I have two.
Okay. Let me play the quasi-science corner.
Yes, science!
Matt is scrambling to get that science corner. So I have two trees in my backyard. We have a white ash and a honey locust. And the honey locust is good, according to the arborist. But we need to treat the ash tree for emerald ash borer, which will destroy it. The tree that I have is 31 inches in diameter. So it is a massive ash tree in our backyard. And it shades the whole backyard. And it would he's estimated probably cost $2,900 to take down, if not $3,000. So
that's bullshit. I can get over there with an axe and take it down for you.
You take it down safely?
No,
without
no.
falling in someone's yard?
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like one of those things that's, what can you do? But he said, but the treatment is really good. It's healthy now. So just, but the treatment said they inject the tree with a chemical. They literally they do like X number of injections depending on the width of the tree. And then they like drill little holes and stick a needle in, and then they just pump this chemical in that flows throughout the tree. And I guess it either kills or makes the eggs not hatch that get laid or something. So
is it an insect infestation or is it a...
Yes. So the emerald ash borer is... it's from Asia. It's a little green. They're beautiful bugs because they're like iridescent green, like shiny, like metallic. Mm-hmm. But what they do is they bore into an ash tree and lay eggs, like 50 to 100 eggs, or no, maybe like 100 to 150 eggs, and then little worms hatch, and then they just eat the bark underneath it, which the area of the tree right underneath the corky bark part is the xylem and the phloem, which is basically the circulatory system of the tree that allows the liquid and nutrients to travel. It basically
that's the living layer.
Yes, it basically cuts a ring of the living layer out around, and once a tree's living layer has been cut all the way around 360, it dies because it can't get any nutrients up past that part of the trunk. So if you want to kill someone's tree, you take an axe and just cut a big circle around the whole thing. It'll die after a few years. don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
Because
That's
like
mean.
TJ had said, the living layer is all of the part on the inside is just dead wood, like leftover years of that, as it continues to expand outward. So the living
weird.
part's right under the bark.
Yeah, I never made that connection that means that all the rest of it's just dead.
Yeah,
That's,
it just grows out.
super
So
weird.
yeah, so it'll be interesting. It's healthy enough and big enough to be worth saving, he said, because it would cost too much to take out. So the treatment's only $300 ish every 2 years, so that's not so bad. Way cheaper than $3,000 to get it removed, and then not having any shade in the backyard. So we'll just take care of it, and hopefully the ash borers dies off after their population booms. Because right now Madison's taking out all the ash trees in the city that are on city land. So our 2 front trees in our front yard are getting taken down.
What's their deal? They only eat ash, or
They only eat ash, and I think
okay.
one other ash close species of tree. I guess there's only one type of ash that they don't eat, and it's like the mountain ash, but that's not a true ash. It's like a birch like species or something. I don't know. He was explaining it all to me. So he said just basically all the ash trees are going to die, and then the ash borers will die out because they won't have anything to eat. And then we can probably, once the population starts dwindling, you can start tapering your treatments off. But even then, for $3,000, that's 20 years of every other year treatment, So it's we'll just treat it.
Yeah.
And we'll
We
sell
just
the
need to
home
bring
before
in-
it's done.
birds to
You
eat
know.
the ash borers, and then bring in some snakes
No,
to eat the birds,
so,
and then the gorillas.
Interesting thing. So ash borer. What would the term be? Predator.
Natural predators. It's got no natural.
It does no natural
North America.
predators. Woodpeckers and nuthatches actually do a very good job of eating larvae. But the problem with the nuthatches and woodpeckers is they tear the bark apart, which is also bad for the tree.
Yep.
So it's not great. So in Asia, the reason why they don't have the problem that we do is that they have a wasp in Asia that eats ash borer. And I'm trying to get an image of. Let's see here, because they're talking about what can they do. It's a parasitic wasp. I'm just trying to get a picture because I've heard. Oh my god! All right,
We're trying to bring some of those wasps over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's always a problem too.
Yeah. Because now you're introducing a new species that doesn't have a natural predator in the area.
Yeah, here it is. It is a. Oh no, they're already doing it. It says.
I think you had that
Russian
on a
wasps. They're already doing it.
I think we talked about that on Science Corner a couple months ago.
Yeah, it is a parasitic
When
wasp.
we talked about the tiny wasp, the samurai wasp that's gonna murder stink bugs.
Oh, this is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Is this one of the ones that will inject an egg into it, and then the larva eats the host?
Oh, I gotta
inside
look
out.
this thing up because this article is not doing it. Oh, come on, just give me the fucking.
Well, you're looking that up. If I remember correctly,
Thank
one of the things that really contributed to the spread of this ash borer is freaking bringing firewood from place to place.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do is bring wood native to one area and bring it somewhere else to burn it because you're gonna bring invasive species into areas that they're not supposed to be in and ruin the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Ecosystem.
So, yeah, apparently in 2002,
Ecosystem.
this wasp was identified in China and studied for several years before scientists concluded they could safely be released in the U.S. to fight the ash borer. So in 24 of the 26 states where the ash borer is found, they are releasing these wasps. So I didn't realize they had started doing it, but they were going to. I honestly hate websites that write scientific articles that aren't science websites because it literally does not have the name of the wasp anywhere in this article, and I want to know. There it is. Thank you, because it looks like the way that the wasp is destroyed. Oh, here we go. Here it is. All right, thank you. Researchers named a new species. This was a new species discovered. Tiny stingless wasps of the genus Ubius. They're similar to one each other, but they have tiny differences in their structures, making them two different species. So they're really tiny wasps. And parasitism takes place when the wasps insert their eggs into those of the emerald ash borer, which provide food for the wasp larvae. Ecological differences in life cycles of the two wasps say that's why they're using two different species, because they kind of work together, I guess, to fight. So yeah, the parasite doesn't like hit a live thing, but it actually just, you have your egg under the bark. It just has this little stinger that goes through the bark into the egg and puts its egg into the other egg and just eats the egg from the inside out. So that's pretty neat. I mean, that's cool. The guy was like, yeah, they're cool, but they're very ugly because they're just like, they look like flies almost. Like they're just like tiny little wasps with a big like fucking stinger on their butt that bores into the wood. So, but hey, man, save my ash trees. There's like, I think that one of the articles said Iowa has 52 million ash trees. It was an article from Iowa, so that's a lot of trees. So anyway, I'm getting that taken care of, which is good. So
while we're already in the science corner, should we finish up and do your actual science corner?
Oh yeah, let's get it,
because it looks interesting. There we go.
This is really interesting because it came up today. Because Lauren and I were looking through movies, and there was a 2015 movie that called The Stanford Prison Experiment.
Matt, are you familiar with the Stanford Prison Experiment?
I am, but explain
Matt,
it to me
have you
as if
taken
I'm
Psych
not...
101?
No, I consume a lot of pop psychology media, so I am. But we should also explain it for the audience. Who wants to take that?
Okay, so the let me look if I can get a link to the actual experiment. So the Stanford Prison Experiment was, boy, where do you think that took place? So at Stanford University in California in 1971, Philip Zimbardo, who is a very like well-known and renowned psychologist, you know, who wrote lots of books, did the Stanford Prison Experiment, wrote the book Lucifer Effect, lots of things, you know, very well regarded. So he had volunteers randomly assigned to be guards or prisoners in a mock prison, with himself serving as a superintendent. Two of the prisoners left in the middle of the experiment, and the whole experiment was abandoned after 6 days. And this was because the results seemed to show that the students quickly embraced their assigned role, some guards enforcing authoritarian measures and ultimately subjecting some prisoners to psychological torture, while many of the prisoners passively accepted the abuse by the officer's request, actively harassed other prisoners who tried to stop it. The experiment is one of the most famous psychological experiments of all time and is covered in most introductory social psychology textbooks. It was funded by the U.S. Office of Naval Research. So part of it's were filmed, and there's footage that you can see. So what has happened recently? So there's that 2015 movie. I just wanted to look up. It's got Billy Crudup, and trying to think who else. Anyone else? Ezra Miller is in it.
Now that was the experiment was supposed to last for 2 weeks, correct? 14 days.
Yeah.
And ended after 6.
Yeah.
According to testimony, it was because one of the prisoners like went on a hunger strike and like refused to do anything, including eat.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if this is okay. So I don't know if the movie takes a stance on the experiment itself, but it's actually really interesting, the experiment, because it's kind of a thing that could never be replicated today, because
Ethics.
That is very unethical.
Yeah.
Which is thinking a little bit about it, but is also a thing that is now widely known in the community as the replication crisis, which is a thing. And I wonder if this article just talks about. Okay, yeah. This gives more into than just the prison experiment. So this article I have from Vox kind of goes into this, but the replication problem we have now is that people are going back to many psychology experiments that were done back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and trying to replicate their results and being unable to do so which we all know one of the important parts about the scientific method and scientific theories is that they can be repeatable, that you can replicate the results following the exact same parameters. Otherwise, it's not science. Let's see here. Journalist Gina Perry found the infamous Robber's Cave experiment in the 1950s, where basically it was, hey, let's make the Lord of the Flies a real thing, where young boys at summer camp were manipulated into joining warring factions. And the reason why that was a fraud was it turned out they tried to do that experiment before, and the boys wouldn't do it.
Yep.
So rather than publish the failure, they just said, let's do it again. And it worked this time, which is definitely not how science works. You can't just have one thing fail and then replicate it again and it works once and you're like, okay, that's the way it is. Another famous experiment is the Milgram electroshock test, where this is a really fucked up one.
Oh, that I think I know. I know what this one is.
Participants were told by an authority figure to deliver seemingly lethal doses of electricity to an unseen hapless soul, basically saying you need to do this, so do it. And of course they can't see the person or whatever, and so people are just like, okay, I guess I'll hit the button, even though I'm being told it will hurt someone. So that's been called.
Where they hear the screams.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, they had an actor in the other room screaming.
Correct. And so
and this
that
would be
one,
a punishment of some sort of like wrong answers or whatnot.
Correct. And then herein lies the problem with most of these, is that the problem with these are in the Milgram electroshock test, you have an authority figure telling someone to do something, basically coercing someone into performing something. And oftentimes that person is someone who's part of the research, which is completely wrong. You can't have someone who is involved in research trying to psychologically manipulate the outcome of what the experiment is going to be. That's just not scientific. You're supposed to observe, not be a part of. And that is one thing that they've talked about with the Stanford prison experiment, is that they've done interviews, and this actually ties in to the book that I read. So You've Been Publicly Shamed, because they talk about the replication crisis and people starting to go back to all of these people. But what happened is that the criticism basically is saying that the Zimbardo was basically coaching the guards on how to act as guards, saying, I want you to, be guards. And a lot of the guards said, well, he kind of told us what to do, or if he didn't tell us what to do, he said what he expected of us. And one of the guards actually specifically said, well, he didn't say what to do, but he implied what kind of things we should be doing. So I just acted crazy because I thought that's what they wanted to, and so rather than this being an instance of like, when left to our own devices, humankind in society structures will punish their own just due to the strictures of our society, it's more of, actually, you can take regular people and they'll do things just because they want to do the right thing and make the experiment work, rather than.
And even the prisoner side, I think they were acting the way they were because they thought that that's what they want.
Correct. And that was the big problem with the experiment, is that the problem was, and it's literally built in, where he made himself superintendent of the prison. Like, you can't be in the experiment that you're conducting. It doesn't work. Like, it's just, and that's it. And so, it's just kind of a real issue right now in the psychology community, is that basically everyone's, and it's kind of a great thing right now, because they're kind of going back and everyone's reevaluating all of these things we took to be truth, because we see a lot of things that are basically not being able to be replicated. I mean, this is all stuff that everyone learned in Psych 101, and these are all the showstoppers. Let me go through a couple real here, like social priming. So this was something where people would read old-sounding words like nursing home, and walking or wheelchair, like all these things. We're more likely to walk slowly when told to walk a certain distance, showing how our brains can be subtly primed to with thoughts to act a certain way. Can't be replicated. Like they can't do that one. The facial feedback hypothesis. This one's one I'm sure everyone's heard of, where merely activating the muscles around the mouth, like smiling, makes you feel happier, demonstrating how our bodies tell our brains what emotions to feel. Hasn't been able to be replicated.
Yep.
Stereotype threat, which is where this is something I've heard about as well. Stereotype threat, where minorities or maligned social groups don't perform well on standardized tests due to anxieties about becoming a stereotype themselves. Also hasn't been able to be replicated. And I've heard all of these on This American Life at some point done because they like to have their little pop psychology information stuff. And that, of course, at the time was the information that seemed right. But like looking at critically, and that's the important part about science. And this is why I think so many people, including many people in power, dislike science, because you can't stick to one thing in science. You have to go based off of the information and facts that you get, which may contradict your previous, position or situation. It's just
but John, if you change your position based on new information, that's weakness.
Yeah, no, it's called following the facts. Anyway,
but the replication crisis is more than just an issue that they're dealing with in psychological research. While it primarily is, or while psychological research is the focus of this particular article, replication crisis is huge in all aspects of science because no one wants to fund doing an experiment that's already done.
That is a really good point, TJ, because that is a huge part of it. And that's why people haven't been doing these, because people want to fund new research that's interesting and that can help them, not do research that just confirms. So I think that's what we've seen a lot, actually, which has been great. And maybe this is why we need college, because you have lots of college students who are in these classes and whatnot that need something to do, can spend their time learning the scientific principles and method by replicating old experiments. And that's where a lot of this comes from, actually. Because they'll have their students replicate old things, and then if they find they can't replicate it, they can write a scholarly article and get published, which is an important thing to do if you're trying to be a scientist. And so you can get published just by replicating that, because the college is not paying for you to do the experiment, but giving you the materials that you need to perform said experiments. So that's really interesting. And the other thing is that human behavior is way more complicated than what we can test simply. Not to say that all psychology research is bullshit, which I always say. But it's one of those things that's really difficult. And so it's kind of one of those things that we need to study more of. And we need to spend more money and more research in the sciences to do things like this. That's it, really.
And I
guess
think
that's the replication
psychology
crisis.
It's more viral than other types of research, because everybody wants to know something about themselves. It's like reading a horoscope. You're like, oh, this tells me a thing, and now let me share it. So we're just kind of primed to get suckered into this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it just goes to your base need of how can I understand everyone else around me? Like what is going on,
so that I can use them to do my bidding.
Yeah, exactly. Or in your case, have an army of cats, your army of the night, to fulfill your deeds. That's even better.
Needles on my fingers and.
Yes. Lead
if
them.
any of our listeners want to get more detail on all of this, there are 2 episodes of the Adam Ruins Everything podcast. One that goes specifically over the replication crisis, and one that goes over fraud in science journalism.
I love Adam Conover's show and the stuff that he does, so I would highly recommend that as well. I haven't listened to the podcast, though. I'm going to have to check that out.
It's just him talking to a lot of experts. It's great.
Just kind of like extended conversations with people that he had like a short interview segment with on the show.
That's cool. That's great, because I mean his shows are I think it's on I don't know what channel it's
True
on.
TV.
True TV. Yeah, that show is awesome, and
that just broke out of the College Humor YouTube videos
Oh
that
yeah,
he was
I forgot he was from that.
Yeah. Because it's just so well done. Like it's the thought of thinking critically and not. And then they actually did. I think they did a whole episode where they talked about the previous episodes they did and where they fucked up.
Yep.
Where they're like, "Oh no, these things we said were wrong. You know, this is
Yeah.
what you should think now." And that they're like, "We're doing this because this is how science works. You report the information as you have now, and can, like, you know, explain to people and understand. And then as you get more information or research changes or brings new things to light, you need to update what you think because that's I don't know. That's so great about science.
And they
There's
provide the
nowhere to
sources
hide.
too, which is great.
Yes, exactly. It's all facts. No fake news in science. Although you could argue that there is, but because just being
yeah.
published doesn't mean that you're right either. So that's that's how we
and,
get the
and
replication
you can
crisis.
get down to like for-profit science journals and shit, and it gets really hanky.
Yep.
Yes, and that's another discussion for another day. The scientific journals that exist just to get your name on a list of published authors.
Yeah, that's the other episode I mentioned.
Yes, thank you. All right, perfect. Yeah, because those definitely exist too, and that is a big issue. So, okay, I've talked quite a bit. Someone has to have something else they've done.
I want to talk
in the
about
last
Fortnite for a
couple
little bit.
weeks. Ooh.
Fortnite!
Oh, what are the kids playing? Oh my god, you see my fucking disco grenade! Llamas! Woo!
Fucking
my
fireworks. Anyway,
Are you trapped on the PS4? Are you able to play on the Switch?
oh no, because I already had set up a separate Epic Games account for my Xbox.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's the one that I use on my Switch. That's why you
nice.
added me as a friend on both of them. But yes, so I didn't have that issue, so I'm playing on Xbox One and Switch, and my progress also cross. All my progression
progress.
goes between both.
We talked about
both
that
systems.
last week, but the Fortnite situation with Sony remains unsolved.
Yes, not
We're
just, even just
still-
the regular crossplay, but the crossplay. But they hijack and hold your Epic Games account at ransom, and you cannot use it anywhere else.
Correct. Well, you can use it on PC or PS4, and that's it.
Yep.
Or mobile.
Mobile, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
mobile as well.
So
Cannot
anyway,
use on Xbox or Switch. So
about 2 months ago is when Season 4 started.
yes,
And there was all of the stuff with the Thanos Gauntlet. They did
yes.
that mode and
we
all
played a
that
little
other
bit
stuff.
of that.
Yeah, that was.
I
pretty
didn't.
great.
When Season 4 started, I stopped playing like 2 days before the season.
Yeah.
I stopped
Can we play
playing. And I'm just
Fortnite
like,
after this?
yeah, I'll get back to it. We can, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love Fortnite.
Just because you're
But,
so bad at it.
Yes. So then I started playing on the Switch when it came out on the Switch.
Yeah.
And in the 2 or 3 weeks it's been out on the Switch, I've had no kills, but I got a couple top threes without any kills. So I started playing on the Xbox a little bit because I've got an extra Xbox available, and I'm trying to play it on the One X and seeing if that's any better without a better TV. And still no kills, can't get a kill. I got a top 3 here and there. And then the most recent game I played, and I have not played since this game because I finally got one of those adrenaline rushes that everyone talks about from playing this game.
Yeah.
Where I was in the last 3, I got my first kill since Season 4 started, which was a one-shot snipe in the head kill.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And then I was in a 1v1 with the last guy in the game, which was super, super intense. I wasn't building shit. He was building like crazy. I was using my pistol to try and break his stuff to get him to fall. And after not causing him any damage and me kind of getting away a couple times and rebandaging up, I ended up losing and getting my first solo top 2.
Nice.
Nice.
I'll never
So
get a
wait-
victory.
So waiting for that chicken dinner, huh? Or whatever
Um,
it's called in Fortnite.
Victory Royale.
Victory Royale with cheese.
Now,
You know what my favorite part about Fortnite is all the people trying to steal my Epic Games account.
oh, same here. I just
Give
don't know
me
which
that.
one.
Want any of that? Maybe it's.
I don't even
You'll
know what
get
my
it.
Epic Games account password is.
say your best
Ooh.
guess out loud on air.
Never mind. I
Hunter
guessed
2.
correctly, and now it's asking me to. I put on 2-factor auth, so never mind. It doesn't
I haven't
happen
done that
anymore. But yeah, it was insane that. But when that blew up, that they didn't have 2-factor authentication from the get go.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have that nowadays. Like
You thought they would have had it by the time Paragon launched.
yeah, I know, but no.
I'm also super sad that Paragon died because it was actually a decent game.
Yeah, I heard it was all right. I think there are a lot of people that were fans of that. And then, for those people who don't know what Paragon was, it was kind of like a first-person shooter MOBA.
Yep.
Where that was actually
With jumping and verticality too.
Yes.
So yeah,
I heard it was cool, but
it was like Smite but more intense.
I never got to play it, even though with my video card that I got, I got like a bunch of free Paragon cash.
Oh, I also
never cashed it in.
I also bought Grand Theft Auto for both Xbox One and PS4 because they were on sale for $20 each.
Nice. Why did both?
Because I have friends that play Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox One and Grand Theft Auto on the PS4. So I figured I might as well get both.
She got on the PC.
But it wasn't $20. And my PC probably can't handle it.
That's definitely cannot. My PC can barely handle that game.
But then again, I should rephrase that. It was $20, and then I got my discount, so I paid $17 plus tax for each one.
Nice.
I'm gonna say hi to 11 Pog in the chat.
Yeah, we got chat. We got chat.
Yeah.
Let me open up the chat.
I know. I've had the chat window like closed and muted because I was digging into the pink sparkles, and I was like, "Oh, I can't read this chat." So I got
11 Pog followed us after one of our longer live podcasts a while ago.
Oh yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Well,
I
great.
was
Now
trying
it's
to
the
do the
Fortnite
chat on the
cast.
phone, and it's just
Yeah,
just don't work.
Just turn on chat only.
Chat only.
Yeah.
Chatonly.com. Isn't that
You don't have to be
Farmers.
lonely.
I tried. I
when you
signed
got
up for Farmers Only.
chatonly.com.
You signed up for Farmers Only? What's the sitch like in the Madison area?
Okay, here's the thing. I thought it would be hilarious, and it was not. It was like disappointingly normal. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
maybe it's just because I was looking at women, and like maybe all the funny stuff is on men. But I was
Yeah.
expecting like some 80-year-old farmer with like no teeth and shit. But it's all just, it's like people who grew up on a farm and aren't necessarily farmers, and they want a quote-unquote country boy, which means white.
That's one of my. I just want to say that's one of my favorite Family Guy jokes from one of the more recent seasons. Is they do a Farmers Only parody, and they said, "Yeah, FarmersOnly.com." It doesn't say whites only, but yeah,
Yeah, I got a
'Cause
very
it's
strong impression.
kind of what
that
it
undercurrent.
is. They're like, we're not gonna say it, but you know what kind of people are on here. It's like, yeah, it's kind of gross. But you didn't
Yeah,
find
it is.
love on FarmersOnly.com.
No. Well, I wasn't.
Is that where you
looking
met your
for it.
current
This is-
girlfriend? FarmersOnly.com.
No, this is only a couple of weeks ago because like I said, I thought it would be funnier than it was, and it was just disappointingly normal.
Well, Matt, you don't have to be lonely. There's FarmersOnly.com.
Not a sponsor.
I think none of the people I saw were even farmers.
Yeah, I know. Well, nobody is anymore because farms now are a giant company owns the land and farms it, and then people just work on it. There's no like
It's just a bunch of robotic combines
local farmers anymore.
looking
Exactly.
for love.
Not robotic. It's people that take less than minimum wage under the table doing all the farm
no.
work.
What's wrong
Farms are
with having
full of
relations with
robotics
robots?
now, though.
That's true. There is a lot, especially milking operations now.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
There's tons of pre-programming that you can do on tractors, and
Yeah.
that's why they're all like. I don't really remember how it settled out, but there was a big right to repair thing because, like,
Oh yes.
tractors have DRM now.
Yeah.
It was against
That's
John
some
Deere.
crazy shit.
Thought-
Don't knock John Deere.
No, but that's the lawsuit was against John Deere. Because they're
May or may
proprietary
not
software.
have a lot of money in John Deere. So I will not speak ill of them on the podcast.
That's why they call you John Deere Rowe.
No, I'm joking, but
My dad used to sell case tractors.
yeah. Oh shit! Well, my dad sells John Deere, so
Well, it's
You
fine.
can-
My
My
dad's a
dad is
tradesman
an
now.
actual deer.
my dad is now retired. So, but
My dad's an
it's
electrical
actually really
contractor.
interesting the way that farmers are with their fucking John Deere in their case.
Yeah.
Is that like we were a John Deere family, like, we had an international harvester or whatever as well, but. It was all John Deere on our farm. It's such a weird
International Harvester.
thing.
Didn't Case buy them? Because that's why it's Case IH?
Possibly. My dad
Yeah.
used to, as a hobby, like buy old tractors and kind of like paint them up and whatnot and sell them.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of fun. And I know, like, it seems like it would be really difficult to work on like a car and sell it, but turns out tractors, especially the old ones, are very mechanically simple.
Oh, yeah.
So you can figure it out, you know.
Yeah. And all the parts are
which is
so
kinda
big.
fun. Yeah, it's there's no like rooting around inside the engine case trying to figure it out. You get this fucking huge piston, you just slide in, So that's pretty cool. Anyway, but that's all I have about Farmers Only. But so all I know is I need to kill TJ in the upcoming John Deere v Case Wars.
Yep.
Let's see how their stocks are doing.
So, going back to Wars, Fortnite's getting that update, I think tomorrow or the next day, where you could set up a private server and just play without fighting, so you can practice your building and stuff. Community
Oh,
playgrounds.
that's cool.
What game is this?
Fortnite.
Oh, I'd love to try that.
Is it persistent or does it reset when
I
everybody
think
logs
you're
out?
able to set your own private rooms.
Because it'd be really cool
Or-
if it just turned into like a Minecraft server. Like just build giant forts, and then just let it be persistent.
I still
Yeah,
wanna
Let's see
get
how
Save the World
Case is currently trading. This is the farmer's stock report. Case is currently trading at approximately $10 a share. As of January 1st, 2018, they were $13 a share, so they're down $3. Let's see what John Deere is doing. John Deere is currently trading at $140 a share. And at the start of the year, they were also at $157 a year, so they've also dropped. That gotta love that Trump bump, and then extreme drop. So, real
Yeah,
good.
well, at least Harley's doing great.
Mhm.
So, Matt, what have you been up to?
Yeah, Matt.
I've
Besides
been playing.
trolling farmersonly.com.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed, Creed Origin, a lot.
Nice.
Playing with my eagle friend and my horse friend, because I got rid of my camel friend, and
Oh,
exploring
man.
the desert and murdering hippopotamuses.
How could you? Didn't you see Indiana Jones? You know, you got to go with the camel and not the horse.
Nah,
You know. Anyway, that's a great.
the
movie.
horse
I
is
just wanted
great.
to
I've
reference
bonded with. I was worried I killed the horse once because I jumped off a cliff and it died, and then I couldn't resummon it for like some amount of time, and then it came back eventually. I'm
I see.
I'm being told I'm going to get an NSFW tag for my cat being spread eagle on the camera.
Yeah, that is obscene. What's happening in the background? The cat doesn't have any parts down there, though, right? It's all neutered or spayed or
Yeah, I
whatever.
can fix it.
Oh, cats. I don't have any cats on my screen. I'm looking forward to having a dog and getting her. What is it? What do lady dogs get? Spayed?
Spade.
Is that,
Yeah, spayed.
I never remember those two. I need to remember that. But anyway. Yeah, make sure you spay and neuter your pets. Lauren was saying she was reading an interesting review of the breed that we're going to get. And they were like, the thing was such an asshole. And then we got it neutered. I was like, yeah, of course it was an asshole. Because you didn't have it neutered and it was locked up inside.
Yeah.
Because it wanted to go out and bone. That's what dogs want to do until they get their parts fixed, and then they calm down a little bit. So, anyway,
Yeah.
oh man,
So, Ascree Origins. I should say
yes,
I got it because I was excited
Steam
about
sale.
Was it on sale? Shit. I didn't buy it on sale.
Yeah,
I was
way
excited
on
about
sale.
the new one, the Sparta one, and
Yes,
I was
this
like, I
is
can't
Sparta.
play that one, but I can play this one, and I can pretend it's Sparta, and I'm just totally ignoring the main quest, collecting all the little locations, murdering all the Romans, and all the animals, all the beautiful.
So are the
glorious
Romans the
animals.
bad guys?
Yeah. I think they're Romans. I don't know. I'm not good with history. They look like Romans. And
I would
I
assume.
murdered my son accidentally once, and then and now I'm a roving wild rover on the Egyptian outback.
Yeah, it does seem like, and so the difference between that game and a bunch of the new Ass Creeds or the older Ass Creeds is like there's like loot and stuff, right? Like
There's tons
it's
of
an
Different
RPG.
weapons too.
Yeah, and I don't think I have it set on easy, so I might have like there might be like some kind of carry limit in the other settings, but for me there's not. So you never have to worry about being encumbered or anything. You can just hoard weapons, and then you can actually rip them apart and use the materials to upgrade your other gear. And it's like
So it's a
really
gacha
simple.
game.
Well, it's like you have 4 things to upgrade. One is your arrow max quiver capacity. One is range damage. One's melee damage, and one's health. So it's not like you have to worry about each individual piece of equipment.
There's no like
You're
skill trees or stuff.
No, there are, but you can. It's kind of like Shadow of Mordor or something like that, where you just you get a point and you can put it wherever, and eventually, over enough time, you'll have points to get all the skills.
Okay.
I recommend it. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I'm really tempted to buy that too because I think it's on sale for $30 right now, and I think I may just wait until the fall. I got too much shit to play already. How's the falconing?
It's really cool. So you can...
I've always wanted to own a falcon and do that because that always seemed really cool.
When you go into falcon mode, you like actually zoom up and you see it from the bird's point of view. And then as it's flying around, it'll see little floating resource icons over certain creatures. Like the alligators, you'll see heavy leather, and like other animals, you'll see pelts and stuff. And then over, there's certain caravans of Romans that are like transporting minerals, and that'll show up for you too. And that's all shit you can use for upgrades. But then when you enter a location, each like separate location has its own its own like little mini quest where you have a series of things to accomplish for that. And so if it's like kill a captain or find the treasure, you can go into eagle mode and you can scan around and you can kind of zoom in, and when you're zoomed in, it'll have like a reticule that'll like contract as you get closer to the thing, and if you hover over the spot, it'll just mark it for you, and then you'll have that marker in the real world when you go back down into your human body. And also, when you're just killing animals, like this has only happened with I think they're called ibex or something. They look like gazelles. Every once in a while, the eagle will just swoop down and one hit one for you.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it what type of eagle? Is it golden eagle? I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, which makes sense. I have seen golden eagles in real life, and they are fucking massive. Like you think a bald eagle is big, gold eagle is bigger and more badass, and they are totally around here in the North America as well. But I would recommend checking one out if you can at your local zoo.
That's John's Eagle Report. Check him out.
John's Eagle. I am like obsessed with eagles and other like.
There was
raptors.
a picture on Reddit today of like, was it harpy eagle talon or something?
Yes, they're the biggest ones, and they are fucking badass. They will fucking come at a bitch if they want to. So they're very protective of their nest areas and whatnot. So they'll talk about like how you'll be out in the rainforest, and you can't see very well. And all of a sudden, one of these motherfuckers will be flying at your head with the claw like this big, and you're just like, oh my
it's
god,
like big enough to fully engulf your hand.
Yeah,
it's
so
ridiculous.
You want to watch out for those. But they, if you stay out of the jungle, you'll be fine because they live in like the South American jungles. So,
just always stay inside.
Actually, I saw a really funny sight earlier today when I was driving back to work after lunch. On top of a light post was it was some sort of raptor. I couldn't see it. It was really high up, but it was just sitting there on a post, and there were two little birds just dive bombing its head because I'm assuming it was close to wherever their nest was, and they're just like, "Get the fuck out of here, bird! Like I will fight you, even though you're like 12 times my size, tiny little bird." I just think it's funny. I mean, that's what we do to protect our young, right, TJ?
I don't know. I don't have any young here. Oh, there goes my thumb.
What have you done with your young? Have they been eaten by a snake? That happens to the best of the birds.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out.
It's fine. I ate the
What
snake.
you gotta
back.
watch out for is another bird sticking its eggs in your nest and you accidentally raise it.
Oh, like a cowbird or a cuckoo?
Yeah.
Cat dog.
That happened to me. I raised the wrong children for...
What you're telling TJ is not to get cucked.
Yes.
That's where the term comes from,
Okay.
cuckoo.
And the cat just hit that button, but I feel like it's appropriate.
Oh my god, your cat is beautiful comedic timing. That was perfect. Guys, would you like to know what's happening in my neighborhood?
Yeah, what's going on
in
the
John's
Nextdoor app?
neighborhood?
On the Nextdoor app, about 10 minutes ago, I saw a black lab mix with a white-tipped tail wandering on Cold Spring. Oh god, I can't say addresses. That's the name of a street, and I won't say the other part. I called to the dog, but it just kept on traveling towards...
Hey, dog.
my street! Oh shit! I want to go outside and see if there's a pupper outside.
That wasn't a dog. That was a cow. You called for it. Didn't come at you. You're supposed to say moo.
What's really funny is that dog was actually just like the black hound or whatever that you see before you're killed or whatever. And that lady's like, I saw
The
this.
hellhound.
And like, the hellhound that you see before you die. Guys, I want you to know, pesticides stink. I did have fresh air and windows open until my neighbors sprayed their lawns today. Now the air stinks of poison. Thanks, friendly neighbors. This is just one more negative your neighbors are forced to accept because of the ridiculous Kentucky bluegrass monoculture lawn culture. I like that you say monoculture lawn culture. It's just monoculture on your lawn.
Yeah, but it's
in
the
addition-
culture of having a lawn monoculture.
Additionally, to those that treat your lawns, the horrendous dandelions done for the season, you may want to consider reducing your applications. Your wallet and your neighbors would appreciate it. First off, you should be spraying your lawn. You should be fertilizing and doing the pesticides in the spring before the grass starts to grow, in pellet form, not in spraying form, because that's bad. But also, I gotta say, in my area, if you're spraying for mosquitoes, I get it, man. There's so many mosquitoes in my yard. I've
Wait, you can
almost
spray your lawn for mosquitoes?
Yeah, you can spray. Well, it's not the lawn. You spray the bushes and because they like to hide in like your. Because I have a lot of landscape plants in our front, which are way overgrown, and I really hate the way it looks. But you're not supposed to trim them once they've started to flower and stuff because it's bad for them. So you're supposed to do it in the spring, and of course, since we bought the house, I had no clue what it was supposed to look like, and now everything's popped up. I'm like, okay, now I know what I need to do next year to take care of this. If you'd like to come to my area, there is a beautiful 2,300 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that is $238,000, less than I paid for my house. And this one looks much more
I'll get
updated.
right on that.
It looks much more updated. I don't know if it's in a nicer or worse area, but it has a deck in the back. The appliances aren't new, but they're not old. They're not stainless steel.
Are you gonna zero-scape your yard? You know, I feel.
What does that mean?
I think it's when you just put rocks in your yard instead of grass.
Oh, no. I don't know why anyone would do that, because we live in an area with a climate that can sustain grass pretty easily. I understand the people that live out in like Nevada and California that want to do that. That makes sense. But wow, this house
I always
is
like
a
the
really
houses
good deal.
around here that don't have an actual lawn. They just have like a shit ton of random plants in their yard instead of like,
This house is going
grass.
to go for way
Boring ass
above what
grass.
their list price is. But anyway,
Do you think they'll take a wireless Bluetooth boombox for like a trade? Because I'm gonna try to get rid of one of those for a while.
We just had our neighborhood garage sale, so that was last weekend. But the thing is that like with your lawn, this is John's like fucking home ownership corner, is that don't fucking water your lawn. Like the thing that I'm gonna do is, I love my green lawn, and I do a lot of work to maintain it. You know, I spent a lot of time mowing. I reseeded a big portion of it, and it looks great now. I understand. But I'm not going to water it. Like, that's just a waste of water and money. Like, if it's a drought season, it's a drought season. Your lawn looks brown for a while. Sorry. Like, but there's no need to, like, I understand people that get mad at people that you know, especially in, like, California. When you see, like, the water restrictions they have, and then yet like all these celebrities' yards are like green, and it's like, yeah, okay, somebody's breaking the rules here. That makes sense, but like around here, come on, like you don't need to water your lawn, especially this year. You're getting fucking 8 tons of rain so far, so everything's super luscious right now. Matt, do you have any opioid addiction resources?
The internet. No, I thought Trump was going to fix that. Or
Hi,
like
neighbors.
Kushner was on it or something. I don't know.
I like this neighbor, by the way. It starts it off nice. Hi, neighbors. I think a few neighbors of mine might be suffering from opioid addiction.
Oh, I see.
A few neighbors. So does this person like just think every house around them is like an opioid den?
Yeah.
They're just like,
Actually, John, I have to walk that back. I do actually have an opioid treatment. If you'd like to hear it.
Smoke
What's
weed
that?
every day.
Ayo.
Hey.
All right. Just call Adam. He'll hook you up with the Connect. Anyway, I like them. They're nice people and always cordial, but it seems like things might be spiraling downward fast. I don't know how to help, but I feel compelled to try. Anyone have any resources or courses of action? I suspect they're doing their thing on public property nearby. Someone snooping. But I am not sure if calling the cops, being a narc, will actually get them the help they need. It won't. If anyone has helpful resources, experiences, I'd appreciate recommendations. Here's my favorite part. It's like, okay, so this neighbor's looking out. You know, they're like, hey, can I maybe give them a pamphlet or say, hey, can you want to talk to this person? Because maybe they can have some outreach with you. You know, who knows? But here's the next sentence. Based on the recent climate on Nextdoor, I feel compelled to say that rude, insensitive, and or hateful comments will be reported and deleted. So kindly refrain and find something better to do with your time. I'd like to mention that I love the Nextdoor because it is just like the most fucking catty thing in the world. Because everyone will be like posting stuff about like, hey, the kids are doing a gun control like art show or something, and then fucking Jimmy Two Guns will be like, I don't think we need that. It's like, it's a fucking children's art show, dude. It's not time for you on your Second Amendment soapbox. First off, they're not reading this. Their parents don't give a shit what you're saying on here, and you're not going to show up to this art show. So fuck the fuck right off. Like, I don't know. I just love it because everyone seems like it's a public place to air grievances. So
And
anyway.
is this everyone's like using their real names, right? It's not like an anonymous thing.
Matt, would you like an electric organ? Because there's a free electric organ.
I just got one.
Really?
behind me.
Is it from the same person who's listed this? Oh, no, it was 11 hours ago, so probably not.
No. But what kind?
Anyway.
I might want another one.
Well, you'll have to contact this person on Nextdoor.
What's their
Matt-
address?
You can sign up for Nextdoor, you know. You don't have to own a home to use Nextdoor. You just have to be
Can I
in a
go
neighborhood that has... So anyway...
But can I sign up for Nextdoor in your neighborhood?
No. You have to have an address because they send a postcard to your physical address with a
Oh, that's
confirmation code.
weird.
Well,
That's
that's
like
the only
old
way they
school
can know that you
Facebook where
actually
you
live
had
there.
to have an
Yeah.
edu email.
A .edu. Yeah. Someone has some orange tabby cats that need a home. Matt, 2 11-year-old cats.
Those are old ass cats.
Yes, they are. Don't say that. My cats are 8 years old now.
I mean, to acquire
Yes.
new. They're like
Yes.
middle-aged cats. I don't want any
Yes.
middle-aged cats. I already have some.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people asking for lawn mowing help. My favorite is like when people are just giving away garbage for free. This person's like, I got some leftover bottles. Would you like some bottles? No, put them in the
No.
fucking recycling. It's people just being nice, you know. Like,
I got an inflatable lawn pool. Just needs a patch.
yeah, I know, right? It's like this is garbage. So anyway,
Quick gaming news, just because I just happened to pop it up.
perfect.
Pokemon Go has its most players now ever since launch.
What?
Since summer of 2016.
Really?
No.
But launch was the highest, right?
So right after launch was the highest, and then
Yeah.
this is the second most highest number of players. Because Pokemon Go has just added trading.
And friends. I
Oh,
believe,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You can,
yeah.
you can. I can't get into this. I
don't
kind of
have
want
the
to get
room on
into
my
it.
phone.
I really kind of want to get into it again because I really liked it, especially if I'm going to have a pupper now that I'm going to take
Yeah,
walking.
you're gonna have to
It's a
take that thing on walks.
Perfect time to get my steps in.
And you'll need it as you get ready for Pokemon Let's Go.
I'm really looking forward to being able to walk a dog every day because they'll give me an excuse to get off my ass and walk, and you get to hang out with the pupper. And supposedly this breed is not a breed that needs a lot of exercise, just a daily walk. So
Just a John's amount of exercise.
exactly, I want something at my level of laziness. So that's good. I kind of want to start a compost pile. Matt, do you have any advice on that?
No meat or eggs, and keep it aerated. And I think that's pretty much it. Also, you can get like weird starter compost shit. That's like you can pre-seed it with compost bacteria.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's-
I'd like to have it because I have a lot of plants, as I mentioned earlier in my property, quite a bit of landscaping plants. And my juniper bush outside is looking pretty brown. And I feel like it needs some fertilizer. So I'd love to be, and it seems cool because I love fucking science and shit, and having like a bucket full of microbes that I know that are turning like garbage into like cool plant food seems really fun. So I was thinking, you can just get like a Rubbermaid, right? And then drill a bunch of holes in the sides, and then
Yeah.
have it, and then just
Well,
layer it. You
when
do,
I
like,
was
layers.
experimenting with it at my old place, I had a big like Rubbermaid trash can thing, and then I also had like an old aquarium pump pushing air into the bottom, and that was supposed to keep it aerated, but it didn't work super well. So
Okay.
I think if you're gonna have something like that, you just have to like stir it pretty well frequently. Otherwise, they make ones that are on like a rotor, like one of those raffle ticket things.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was on Nextdoor and I just saw someone listed a bunch of dog equipment that they want to get rid of. So I'm like, hey, yeah, they got a large dog kennel I could use. That way we can keep her out in the backyard. Because
Nice.
apparently this is the type of dog that likes to go away. They like to roam, so we'll need a fenced area for the dog. Oh boy. But anyway, I'm excited to have a dog. Never had a dog.
Not even
When I
as
was
a
a small
kid?
child, we We had a blue heeler out on the farm, but it got ran over, and then we never got another dog. So I was like 5, I think, when we got rid of the dog. So, and by got rid of, I mean the dog was ran over and had to be put down.
By got rid of, you mean that you engineered a situation in which it would become not alive anymore.
Yeah, this was me at age 4, mastermind of a dog murdering plan. No, unfortunately, I just learned too that this dog that my parents had, she had a litter of puppies before they had a chance to get her fixed, and she had 11 puppies,
Jesus
which is
Christ.
hilarious. Yeah, well, blue heelers have pretty big litters usually, so 7 or
11
8, 7 or
puppies,
8 though. 11
chat
is
says
insane.
you should invest in puppy training.
That is definitely already part of the plan. Is we are going to take her. We're going to have to, especially because this dog is a breed that is Pyrenees, which don't like to take orders, and Anatolian Shepherd, who is a dog that it was bred to be left out in a field alone for weeks at a time to fend for itself. So it also doesn't take orders. So this is a dog that I have a feeling will be happy for it to sit and stay when we tell it to, and maybe roll over. But no, the plan's already signing up for puppy lessons because we need to socialize because it's a guard dog. So they need to see and meet as many people and other dogs as they can when they're little. So
How do you think the cats are going to respond?
I'm nervous, but I'm it's a puppy, so the only problem is that like this dog is a puppy is probably by 12 weeks we're gonna get it's gonna be like 30 pounds probably.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like 20 pounds, like because it's really fast because they're big. So although they get to full size at about 18 months, so it won't be that big, but yeah. Well, the reason why we're getting this dog is because a friend had it and didn't want it, and it's free, so. We don't have to go through a rescue.
It's got
It's
all
already
its
gotten
shots and
shots
stuff
done.
if somebody
Yes,
already
correct.
owned it.
Correct.
That's a good deal.
She's just due for a final round of shots the week after we pick her up, so we'll just have to take her to the vet then. So it'll be nice that we won't have to pay for any of those, and that's all taken care of. The guy just doesn't want it anymore. He just wants to get rid of it because it just won't guard, I guess, which is funny to ask of a 9-week-old dog. Whatever. Like, I guess if you know them, you know their tendencies when they're puppies. She's not aggressive enough, I'm assuming. He just likes to roll on her back and get petted, probably, which is not what you want in a guard dog. So, yeah, we'll see. But definitely, thanks to the chat, like that is already part of our plan is to sign up for puppy kindergarten, which is fun because then you get to hang out with a bunch of other puppies that are learning and then have an expert there telling you how to train. So I'm sure the cats will be fine. Steve is very adventurous, so he'll probably say hi. Smelly will take some warming up, but when she realizes the dog is a giant heated bed for her to lay on, I'm sure she'll be happy. So,
And one quick correction: it's actually going to be Hundchengarten, not kindergarten.
Yes,
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 that's
Hundchengarten
German for puppy.
Apparently this breed also is like a livestock guardian, so it says apparently the home and all of the pets they're in become the livestock that they feel they need to guard, so they're usually really friendly with any animals within because that is their home area, and anything within is their
So like if
job
I come to
protect.
visit, I'm gonna have to like kneel and present myself in a
Well, probably not. We'll definitely have to have you
sub-position.
over early on so we can get it acclimated to strangers. So, but yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard they're giant, lovable giants, gentle giants. They're called. But also, if you're a stranger knocking at the door, they will have an extremely loud bark because they are huge. So they will sound scary, but won't actually be scary. So. Fun. Just don't try and like murder Lauren or me, because then the dog might actually like try and kill you. So, and probably could, because it'll be like more than half your size.
So what you're saying is I have to get bigger.
Yeah, you need to gain some more mass because you're gonna have to worry about this 120-pound dog trying to get at you. So, I need you to bulk up, man.
All right.
I'll be more than twice its size though, so I can show.
I'll lift the
boss.
cats. That's like lifting. I don't know.
That's like
probably
what?
Like 15
10
pounds per arm.
Yeah. Spinelli is 13.5 pounds, I think. Steve's like 10. He's a skinny boy. And wiry. Anyway, TJ, Super Mario Tennis Aces, how's that?
I didn't buy it.
I heard it's all right. I think the reviews are mixed. Maybe not mixed, but like
I liked what Reddit said the average review is. Great game, pros, great gameplay. Cons, story's too short. Things are unbalanced. Online is still a little janky. 9 out of 10. Everyone should buy.
I mean, I've heard the multiplayer is good though, right? And that's so as long as
tennis, yeah,
as long as you can play fun multiplayer tennis with other people, like
motion controls
that's
or
all
not,
you need.
you can do either way.
Yeah,
and the motion controls are super tight on the Switch.
Motion controls.
Yeah, you can do it like the Wii.
Matt, have you hooked up that electric organ that you have in your background yet?
Yeah. There's actually nothing to hook up. So it's made by a harmonica company.
Oh, it's fully encapsulated with its own speaker.
Yeah. Well, no. It's got an air pump and little reeds that fire off when you press a key down. So I can. I don't know if you'd be able to hear it. But...
Well, let's listen. Oh, I don't think we can hear it.
No.
He's get.
There
Wait.
it is.
No, it's too far away from the mic. This is what happens when you get like nice recording mics.
Did you pick up any of that?
You can hear it just a little bit. It's real
Just
quiet.
barely.
So, well, with your nice actual like recording mic that has the small area, it does a pretty good job. So,
it's really cool.
That's cool.
I got it. I got it for $30 on Craigslist, and so I followed this person into their basement to get it. And I
good.
Turned around
Murder
when
basement.
the door closed, and there was like
It was like Teddy Perkins.
No, it was like a lot of anti-Obama, anti-Hillary like bumper stickers and a collage on the inside of their basement door.
This is just what I like to work on in my free time is anti-lib murals that nobody sees because it's in my basement.
Yeah,
just for me.
It was a very right-wing house.
Yeah. But he had a good organ for you.
Yeah.
And the musical instrument was good too.
Yeah.
Boo! All right, sorry about that one. Actually, I have an organ-related story this weekend, and now I'm remembering something cool I did. So remember Old World, Wisconsin, where I got married? Remember where I got married at Old World, Wisconsin?
You got married?
Remember when you were there, Matt?
Was I drunk?
You were asleep for part of it, if I remember correctly. No, you were awake for all the important parts.
No, I was like feeling pretty half asleep towards the end there, though.
For those people that don't know, and I think we've explained this in previous episodes, but Old World, Wisconsin is like a living history museum, the Wisconsin Historical Society. So they got fucking dudes there, like working the fucking blacksmith and like making like actual meals for their like, so like with the people that work out in the little farms or whatever on the weekends, they volunteer. They actually like cook meals in like the old like stoves, and there was one group that was making pickled eggs. So they were hard boiling eggs in their like stove, and then they had this big masonry jar to put these eggs in. And they were like, "You can try one." And I was like, "Sure, I could, but I'm not going to because that sounds scary." But good luck on you. So that was really cool. But we went out there that weekend because Lauren's dad hadn't been out there in a long time, and he's part of the historical society. He works for the Milton House in Janesville, it's in Milton, sorry.
That would make sense.
Yes, sorry. In Milton, of course, which is next to Janesville, which is why I get it confused. It's kind of like a suburb. So
I was in Janesville last night.
Yeah, so it's actually a really cool place because that's actually a place where the owner of it was like kind of like a hostel, like where people could stay, like it was like lots of tenants and whatnot. They actually was part of the Underground Railroad, So they actually had, and you can go and you visit. It's really cool. You can go in the underground tunnels where people they used to like secret people through, and to like an outbuilding in the back that had like no windows or anything, where people would stay until they were like picked up to go on their next stage up to Canada. So that was really, really kind of a neat piece of history that you see and kind of even feel when you're there. So pretty neat. It's not all bad. There's some good people up here too, doing the right thing, helping slaves to freedom. So, so yeah, he wanted to go visit, and so we went out. But in one of the houses, they're like, all this year they're talking about they want to make it more interactive, more interesting. So they actually had a pump organ with the little foot pedals that you pump like left and right to get like the engine going, and then you just hit it like a keyboard, and it's just a pump organ. It was really cool, actually. And so Lauren got on and played a little bit of what she remembered from college. But it was neat, like, like, oh, it's a really cool instrument, like that you physically have to sit there like really in a sewing machine, like the old ones where you had to physically move your feet up and down to pump it, to keep the air moving in it so that you can hit the keys. Yeah, really neat little thing. So, yeah, I actually touched and made notes on a pump organ this weekend. So you and I are organ brothers. Organ. I touched an organ in a historical place. There were some.
You touched a super old organ.
There are piglets there, like 2-day-old piglets. They're pretty cute.
Oh,
chickens.
That's adorable.
A baby cow that was like 2 weeks old. Really fun place to visit. I would highly recommend it if you are ever getting a chance to go out there for like a day weekend trip, especially with someone, because they have trams now. Back when I was a kid, they didn't have any sort of transportation system, so you would have to walk. And it's like a couple, maybe 4 or 5 square mile park or whatever, so like it's walkable, but boy, is there just a lot of walking in between all of the sites if you don't take the tram.
Is there more stuff where you can like look at, like, explore the inside of buildings?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's what it mostly is. And that's why it's because the people have to be in the buildings.
Because there was that one church that had like plexiglass over the doors.
Yeah, they have that unless they have a reenactor in there to like kind of guide guests through and give a little speech.
Oh, so
they
that's
don't
like
want
a removable door thing.
Correct. Yes, they don't want people going to town on the inside if there's no one there. So, but it was fun. We played the hoop game, the ball and hoop, where you push the circle. Or not the ball, the little, I forget what it is, the big circle, and you hit it with the stick.
Yeah, the big hoop. Stick hoop.
Yeah.
Hoop
stick and hoop. Good old classic stick and hoop. Yeah, but anyway, really neat place. It was nice to see it again, And we met the guy, actually, who was our carriage driver when we got married. We rode off in a horse carriage. And he was there, but not in his fancy top hat and everything. He was in his, like, regular, old-timey farmer clothes. So it was pretty fun. He was like, yeah, I'm not quite as fancy looking today. But it was nice to see him again. And the horses that we said hi. So, yeah, really fun. Man, we did stuff. People did stuff. We've accomplished much in our lives.
Yeah.
Right, man?
Yeah.
TJ, you
really
doing anything?
good. We're good people.
I haven't accomplished anything.
You don't have any neighbors next door that you can rant about like I do?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
This week I learned that when H.H. Holmes built his murder castle, he was like in his late 20s. I was just like, what have I done with my life? I haven't murdered anyone yet. I haven't built any kind of murder castle.
It's what I'm working on here. So I want that. I want a murder castle, like I want to get set up. I love it. I want, I get that extra bedroom downstairs. It can make a good murder hole. TJ, you said you're playing World of Warcraft again. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, I just started a new character.
Why should I get back in?
Well, because my 60 days ends right before Battle of Azeroth comes out, so I won't get back in that much. But I need some people to play with.
Need some peeps. And Battle of Azeroth is the 14th of August, sounds like.
Yes.
I don't even know, man. Like, I, I can't get back into it. I bought every expansion, though, that's come out. Like, the day it came out and played it the day it came out.
Yeah, don't buy this expansion.
But I've done every one of them. TJ, what do I do?
Get the special edition box. Go with your other special edition
All
boxes.
right, I don't buy the special edition boxes.
Or you just get the regular box.
I just get usually the digital special edition, which they have. Because it comes with like all the in-game stuff that you get special edition. I think it's only $20 more. And I get like a fancy mount. And I'm like, I buy these games once every 3 years, so I might as well get the fucking special edition.
And if you and the thing with Battle for Azeroth is with the 4 new races on each faction, which
yeah, they're not really
races.
4
New
new races.
races.
They're 4 reskinned
races.
races.
Exactly, they're just reskin races. But you have to recruit them in order to be able to use them.
Yeah.
And you could right now you can recruit 2 for each faction. Like in not Battle for Azeroth yet, as long as you've already bought Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah.
I have
not that I'm logging in right now to my Blizzard account to look at it.
Oh, John Danger has come online.
No, don't talk to me about
Weird.
this.
Ooh, that reminds me. Just because I'm watching a GIF of this right now, and I've wanted to play it since I saw it on the Vive. So, Matt, are you familiar with the VR game Beat Saber?
I'm familiar with it, but I do not have it yet.
Well, I'm going to have it because it is coming to PS4.
PSVR.
So I will be getting it for the PSVR.
Yeah.
Just wanna
Let's see
play
how
it.
much it is.
Ooh, the standard edition's only $50.
That's how much Standard Edition usually is.
Beat
I know.
Saber.
Like-
It's only $20. Maybe I should just get it. I haven't played my Vive in such a long time, though. I have like a decent amount of games backlogged on it.
Yeah, my
I
VR's
just
not even
haven't-
hooked up right now.
Yeah, it's
But,
just like a whole thing to like put the face mask on, and but I'll get back to it.
Wolfenstein VR looks interesting.
I haven't seen anything about what that is.
So,
is it?
Wolfen-
It's like Mexican
Wolfenstein
stuff.
Cyber, whatever. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
essentially,
yeah.
the Wolfenstein VR that's coming out lets you hack into the Nazi mech suits and use their weapons against them.
Yes.
That sounds really neat.
I-
When does that come out?
Did
I don't know.
you play the Wolfenstein 2 game?
No, I haven't played Wolfenstein 1 yet.
Oh, okay. Because there are like Nazi. So what I've heard is that at least in the VR game, like there is they have Nazi like Panzerhunds, which are just giant robot like dog things, and supposedly the hacking in is hacking these creatures and like sitting in the cockpit and piloting them. And
Or
so
like
it sounds
Nazi
like a kind of a-
AT-ATs?
yeah, basically. So, but that sounds pretty cool. I mean, like
Yeah.
flame
I'd
saber
love a
rounds.
mech game.
2019 for
Oh, man,
Wolfenstein
that's so
Cyber
far
Pilot.
away.
See, the only problem with buying the World of Warcraft expansion, TJ,
Holy
and I know it's
shit.
not a big deal, but when you buy the World of Warcraft expansion, it does not come with game time,
Yeah, that is
which
correct.
is such BS. It's like, you can't give me a month with this, like,
Dude,
because
TJ,
then it's 65.
Beat Saber is 190 kilobytes.
That is small as fuck.
Is
Or-
Beat Saber the one that is?
Well, now it's saying 114 megabytes. 100.
It's a lightsaber rhythm game.
It's
But
so
aren't there
tiny.
like 2 of these rhythm games?
Audio Shield is the other one.
I
Oh,
thought there was
yeah, yeah.
another one like Beat Saber, because there's one
There
of them
was
that lets you
there was
use
a
your own
lightsaber
music.
training game. Yeah.
Audio Shield is your own music.
Yeah,
it's-
because I think Beat Saber has a smaller library of music.
I
But
think Beat
people have
Saber
modded
you can either So it's not
You can
built
add
in
some.
that you can use your own stuff. You have to mod it.
Correct, and I
Yeah.
think that they've said they're working on that for this one. They're like
Alright.
figuring out how to do that, but I heard there was
Yeah,
another one.
it
that was
downloaded.
like-
It's
But yeah,
114 megabytes. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
Audio Shield
ridiculously
is from the makers of Audio Surf, which also lets you use your own songs.
Yeah, I thought there was another one though too. Is it Beats Fever?
Oh, there was another. Oh God, what was that called?
Anyway, but like I believe there's one of them that lets you just like load up like YouTube playlists of music and just play it. Like it's real easy to get your own music in. That's one of the things I love about the game Audio Surf. Actually, is like I even still play that now. Like it's just so cool to be able to have your own rhythm game where you can just use your own music files and like just play whatever.
Forever.
Now that we've mentioned it, I want to download it because I really played that a lot and I liked it. And I think it's a pretty small download. Oh, is there a sequel to Audio Surf?
Besides Audio Shield?
Yeah, I'm wondering. Go look up this company that made this and see if there's any other games that they've made. Because Audio Surf was like a real early on, like Steam, back when Steam like was pretty new and there weren't a lot of games on Steam. Like this is one of the few non-Valve games on like early Steam, so it was a pretty. I want to look up Audio Surf store page. It's got to be similar titles to Audio Surf. They got to have made like an Audio Surf 2, right? Can't just like there is an Audio Surf 2, like just straight up. Maybe I should buy that. It's on Steam. The Steam sale's happening now, everyone. So you can unload your wallets. But Audio Surf 2 is only $5. So
once I get paid on Friday, I'm gonna pick up the sequel to that rhythm RPG I loved. Because the sequel is nothing like the original game. It's called There Came an Echo, which is a voice commanded top-down RTS. You can play it with a keyboard and mouse, but I want to play the game all voice if at all possible.
Well, it sounds like Audio Surf 2 is worse. Not to mention the most recent update.
How do you control that with your voice?
You call the names of your things. You tell them to go to different
go attack the
marks.
Whatever thing.
Yeah, there's spots that are like Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Bravo 2, you know.
That's or Beta Cuck.
Beta Cuck.
It's on sale for $5.99.
Yes, it is. So once I get paid on Friday, I'm going to pick it up.
Hop in on that. Oh, I get paid too, man.
I got paid.
Although my payday is, I think, assuming different than yours, because I get paid once a month. So
really?
It's like
I would be
like
really
a drought
bad
until
at managing that.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm very used to getting it. I had my rhythm in my old job where I would get like paid twice a month, and it would be that first paycheck that covers the credit card bill from last month, and then the second one is for rent and other stuff. Yeah. So I was like, this is working.
Mine's always like, my first paycheck is stuff I can spend. The next one is just rent.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like. So now I've got to like plan that all out and not spend more than I'm going to get. Not to mention I get paid on the fucking like 30th of every month and my mortgage is due the next day. Ugh. Just annoying.
How do you do that? Can you do that online?
Yeah, actually. So we got our mortgage for our house through UW Credit Union, and I as part of that to get $1,000 off our closing costs, I signed up to be a member. So now I just bank through UW Credit Union, and you can just have it pulled directly out of your checking account. So it's fine, just doing it next day.
Do you have like direct deposit too? So it's just like automatically deposit, automatically withdraw immediately after.
Yep. So that way we never don't pay it. So because mortgage is very important. Because if you don't pay that, you have no place to live. Although they're a lot more lenient than rent, but because you got like 15 days before it's late or something like that. Anyway, which is fine. I don't know. I'm never planning on being late because that's not good. Never a good habit to be behind on your rent consistently. So, Audio Surf 2's most recent update on the 25th says streaming is down. You can no longer stream audio from YouTube. Sorry. Working on alternatives. So it seems like the game's having issues. Maybe I'll stick to Audio Surf 1 and my MP3s I have downloaded. So, Is there anything else we want to talk about, or are we fucking done? We put a
I
fork in
want to
this
see
week?
what else is on sale on Steam, but that doesn't.
Everything, because this is Steam
Yeah.
sale. I bought. Let me say what my Steam purchase haul is.
Matt, if you want
Oh,
to
shit.
use your words, it's only $6. I think.
Save 60% on Snake Pass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see what I purchased
Fuck,
on
I gotta
Steam.
get that.
I've spent $34 because if you pay with PayPal, and make sure you look up the PayPal Steam link. But if you pay with PayPal on Steam and you spend more than $30, they'll give you $5 off your purchase using PayPal.
I didn't know that.
So I was like at $29, and I was like, shit. So I need to buy something else. So I spent $30, so I could get $5. I bought My Time at Portia, which I'll probably talk about in the next podcast because I've only just started playing it. But it is like, it's very much a Harvest Moon game. It's coming out on Switch, I think. TJ, I saw a trailer for Switch. It was, I think it's $20, but it's on sale for 16. But it's like Harvest Moon, except for it's not farming focused, but crafting focused. So it's like you're opening up a workshop in a town. You have to like make items for workers, and the like way to create things is super like convoluted, not convoluted, but complicated. So you need to like get all the parts and craft all the parts, and it takes a while. And you're managing your time because you gotta, I gotta put these bars in the forge so that they can become like, bronze bars. So then that takes like 12 hours of the day, and then I gotta, go get these rocks and refine them, and so it's pretty neat.
That sounds like a more complicated version of Weapon Shop de Omase for 3DS.
I don't know what that is. I have that game. I actually bought that game. I think it was like $8 on 3DS, and it seemed really cool. Yeah, and that game you are like a weapon shop for like an RPG, and you're the guy who sells weapons. And you're like, and you have to like tap the thing to craft them. Yeah, that's really neat. This doesn't have any like the tapping to craft stuff in it. It's all just about like blueprints and putting things together. But I think that was really cool. And I like the game Recettear, or Recettear, or whatever it was called. I think it was just on PC. But that's a game where you manage a shop for like dungeon people. And so like I thought that's a really cool idea.
I don't know if
you're the shopkeep.
It might be the same game, but there's another game I heard about. It's like that's like a roguelike where you Moonlighting.
There's
where you do that during the day, and then at night you go crawl dungeons to collect like materials to make new gear to sell.
This game has some of that
your
too.
Words, by the way.
I mean, it's so cheap. Like, Recettear is really fun because it is just like URA. And then, like, it's not a roguelike because then basically what happens at night, the adventurers go out and you kind of watch a feed of them go through the dungeon, and like they like are like, oh, this weapon's good or not, and then like if they die, of course they're not going to come back, so or they have to get healed. So it's kind of a fun little random element. I've also bought Slime Rancher, which I've basically wanted
I've been wanting to play that. Yeah.
I've been wanting to play it for probably like 2 years that it's been out in early access, and it's never been on sale, or it's only been like $5 off. Now it's $12 instead of $20. So I was like, all right, fine. I've been wanting it for a long time. That hasn't gone away, so obviously it's worth me spending money on. And then to round it out, I bought the Game Dev Tycoon game, which is $5. Because I've heard that's really good, and I never played that. I played the phone one, the Kairosoft one, that was like a game dev game.
And the funny thing about Game Dev Tycoon is if you pirate it, what happens is pirated versions of the game have a glitch intentionally where people are pirating the games you're deving.
Yes, you're not making money.
And you will continue just to lose and lose and lose money.
Oh my god, it is genius. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this one out. I mean, it was $5, so yeah, I spent $30. I don't know if I'm going to spend any more. I now have to be fiscally responsible because I own a house and have to pay for tree treatments and whatnot. So
That's
I have to be
you.
careful. Well,
just $20 on Xbox.
Building equity, Matt. Building equity. Working for my financial future. If you'd like to listen to the John Financial Cast, tune in on
This has been Born in the 80s, episode
Thank you.
3.14, 159.
3.14. I would like to play some Slime Rancher.
Pi 100. Pi 100.
Pi 100. Like 100 pies.
So the website is borninthE80s.net. You can catch up on old podcast episodes there. I'm going to go back and recommend one of my favorite early ones, episode 42, the Maltese something, I believe was that one. No. But episode 42 definitely talked about the boys were making a young adult novel in the style of Twilight, because that was how to make the monies.
Yes. Obviously, the best way to make money is to get into that. The website, unfortunately, right now is not
borninthE80s.net?
It's not SSL. I'm working on that. If people that run websites know, and Matt, maybe you don't know about this, but you should look into it. Google is changing the way they index. Well, look into Squarespace, because I'm sure they're doing this automatically.
Yeah, but that's why I don't want to have to deal with behind-the-scenes shit.
They're requiring Google's search algorithm is going to list any website that isn't HTTPS, which is the secure SSL certificate, to be listed as not safe in search results.
Oh,
so
that's
you
fun.
need to get that fixed. So I actually applied for that, but it doesn't seem to have been applied to our domain yet. But maybe I need to.
There.
Yeah, but I may. Oh, well, but you may need to do this too. You may need to delete your browser cache to reload cookies.
Oh, this is the first time I did it on this new computer. So.
Okay. No, I noticed my other ones aren't too. It was free to apply for it, and I'm assuming, well, the date that Google's doing it is in July, like mid-July or something, or the end of July. So.
So you can find our website at partyplatypus.com. That is still a thing.
Still works, because I bought like a bunch of years of it, and guys, URLs are really cheap to buy. So
They sure are.
It's real easy to hold on to them, because you got $20, you got a URL for a full year, and it's like, or if you're like me and you just go on GoDaddy and they have like, hey, if you buy 2 years, they'll give you a third free. I'm like, all right, I'll pay you $50, and now I have this website for tons of years saved away. So
we have our Discord link on the website. Please join us for all amounts of fun.
Yeah, if you go to borninthE80s.net, the Discord link is
sidebar.
right on the left, and a little thing that says join us on Discord, and you click the Discord link, and it opens up the Discord app, and you can join our channel, where we talk about bullshit and post memes and images of Pink Sparkles' boobs.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And you can find me at matthigmusic.com with my newly designed website, thanks to Squarespace.
Ooh.
This is not an ad for
I've seen
Squarespace.
it. It's pretty.
I don't think I've even looked at it yet, so I'm gonna go. All
You
right,
can find me
live reactions.
You can find me at Twitter. That's at MayofMay84. I'm at MayofMay everywhere else, including on Twitch. I should be getting back up to streaming in the next couple days. And it sounds like Spanky and I may be doing a lore stream one of these days to catch up on Kingdom Hearts. And you can always at the podcast too. I think John sometimes looks at that. That's at 80s Podcast on Twitter. And we have a Gmail. Bitecast, BITE-cast, at gmail.com. And you can find John on
every day
Twitter as well, at John_Danger.
How's it going, John?
Nothing. I'm just looking at your website. I love the look. It's sleek.
Yeah. It's it automatically adapts to whatever device you're viewing it on.
That's great. I'm viewing it on my web browser on my main device. So you didn't have to do anything on this or anything?
Well, like I did a bunch of style stuff.
Yeah.
Picking hex codes for colors and graphics and shit. But
it looks really
for
slick.
like
This is not a Squarespace ad.
Yeah. The thing
But
I
that
didn't
looks
want to
nice.
have to deal with was like security and
Like WordPress databases and shit. Although WordPress is
Yeah.
pretty turnkey. You can get WordPress set up on your website. It's pretty easy to handle. But yeah.
and just
You don't need
like
that, though, 'cause
adapting
you're not
to
doing-
the mobile stuff. And,
Yeah. WordPress is
and
more
all
of a
that.
blog thing and not a like cool music website, business card kind of thing you got going on. So I love it. Everyone should check it out. There's Instagram photos of a Roomba.
You can listen to shit for free.
Yeah.
Are you feeding your Roomba toilet paper? Oh, bye everybody.
No, it did it while I was away at work. It ate my
Great.
toilet paper.
The Roomba and the cats are working together.
Yep. And I'm killing.
I already do.
When I feel like that, I just find a charity to give $5 to. And it's not going to do shit, but it makes me feel a little bit better. It makes me feel slightly less helpless. That's been my coping mechanism since, like, the election.
Yeah.
Alright, check. Somebody else make noise.
Blah.
Bop.
Alright, cool. It doesn't kill my audio when we go live anymore.
Well, that's good to hear.
I need to hook my stream rig up to my new computer. Still haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to come up with some more stuff to talk about, guys.
Thank you for choosing Noodles and Company in Rolling Meadows, where we're now born in the 80s. Let's play World of Warcraft.
Anything else that we have that's happened to us?
Just hit level 15 on my character, so I can now do the Dungeon Finder.
The DF, huh?
I'm gonna level up so fast.
Let's check our streams.
Yeah, let me check the audio levels.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fine, but...
I should reach out to Spanky. He's not been... He dropped himself from the from one of the Discords that I'm in with him, so
Okay.
I'll make sure he's doing alright. That's, like, next couple days. I hear myself.
Yeah, that's my phone. So whenever
Wait,
I
is
try to
Lum-
watch, when I try to watch the streams on my computer, I just get a weird encoding error. But they work on my phone, so it must be something on my end.
No, lately or like for a while.
I think this happened.
Oh,
last time,
man.
too.
The
Twitch is
Luminous
fucking up
Remastered
because
is
of
on the
everything.
Switch?
Yes, Luminous Remastered's on the Switch.
Oh, I'm buying the shit out of that.
And the people who made that, oh fuck, it's mute. There we go. The people who made that also did that game, The Tetris Effect, which I kind of want to get. Both an in VR and a not in VR mode.
Okay. Let me listen to the
oh,
Twitch.
Fuck. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I need to put that plate away. I'll do it later.
SGDQ is happening.
Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to it.
I like to watch
It's
the
a list of
the VODs afterwards.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah, I
did
think we sound good.
I'm
You
trouble
guys, do
clearer.
not fall asleep on the mic.
I did. I actually did wake myself up with one of those little
Oh my
snore
god.
wakes. Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Yeah.
I looked at our Discord and there was a big set of gigantic breasts on there.
Oh, is there?
Well, yeah, it's Pink,
Oh, it's
our
in the thing.
favorite artist,
There it is. Big sparkles.
Pink Sparkles. Let's see what
Oh.
she's streaming right now.
Guaranteed.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Spanky just
Viewer
logged in.
games, mature viewers only. Thanks, Snap for subs. Let's see what she's got.
Man,
stream is
you
starting to
should
say
do
hi in
that.
the chat.
Get some of that
Oh,
sweet
she's-
Snapchat exclusive. Oh, jeez, yeah.
She actually isn't streaming though. It just says stream is starting. Enjoy the music. So this stream is literally images of her with bad licensed music, I'm assuming, playing, and has 400 people watching it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, if I could do that, if I could make money doing that, I totally would.
Well, it's like really bad because I feel like a lot of the like viewers on a lot of the like there's this lady who's got like huge boobs who's doing some ASMR stuff. Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Twitch is weird. You know what though? It's a very small part of Twitch. You know what I mean? Like so many other people are doing cool things, and these aren't even the most watched shit. Like there's other people doing
they're just
stuff.
the most like salacious things. So that's what everybody points
exactly.
out.
We're going towards it. Anyway, it's just a weird. It's like I understand gaming culture, and I just want to be like, guys, come on, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Anything else? We've all been drunk late at night. Watched a Pink Sparkle stream of her passed out on the floor. Because she drank too much. No, there was that one we were watching though where she was either acting really drunk or actually really drunk, where she was like on the verge of passing out.
Yeah. And it's always like
when
she's playing games, it's like the game is a tiny little screen up in the corner.
Yeah. Well, she knows what people are there to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. She knows which side of the bread or butter is on.
What we're trying to say is Pink Sparkles, come be on our podcast.
Yeah,
we
why not?
need some viewers.
Yeah.
We'll
We
even
do
we'll lock
face
the
cam.
camera on you the whole time. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to see us.
Yeah.
We're all here for the
Listen to us.
real treats. Okay, I think we're ready to start though. This is 314.
Yep.